Hello guys, it's CJT37 here. I want to touch base on this whole domestic violence thing, like in this domestic violence against women. It's like it is a huge problem, and it's a huge problem because it's a compound problem. You got these men, these punk ass men that like to hit women. It's giving us all a bad name, right? It's messing it up for all of us. But then you got these psychopathic women out here that like to hit men, that use their sex as their weakness. Use okay, well, I'm a female, I'm weak, you shouldn't hit me, as a weakness, and use the law as a shield to protect themselves. So it's like you smack somebody and then you hide behind Mr. Police Officer in the law like a little kindergarten. It's childish. And that's what happens. And this is where a lot of men get messed up at. And now they've gotten tougher on domestic violence in the last 30, 40 years. That's what happens. And women use that as a form of leverage and to gain power. And this is where the problem is. This is what Stephanie A. Smith was talking about. But here's the real kicker. That's not even the point of this whole video. This is just a precursor to what really the whole point is. The whole point in this video is, despite whatever happens, you people need to realize, if you're going to use that as a form of weakness, you got to realize that these law officials, they don't care. They don't care. They don't care. They pretend to care. And I'll explain that right now. See, you would think they care because, oh, you beat. And yeah, if you get beaten, hit, and injured like that, yeah, they're going to fight for you, of course, because you didn't deserve it. But they have to do it. That's their job. But they get something out of it. It's like a freebie to them. A man sits there and you're a female that gets abused, and the man sits there and hits you. That's an automatic, and they got the evidence. Of course, they're gonna have the evidence. You're gonna be in the hospital. You're gonna have pictures. That's an automatic conviction that goes under the prosecutor. That gets him his job. That's just like getting a promotion for him. Every conviction. And here's the problem. That's not really the big problem if they are doing their job and they're doing it the right way and they're investigating and getting to the bottom of what the crime happened and getting the right person behind bars or punishment or help. Usually it has help. It's usually not always behind bars the first time. But my problem is you have these psychopathic women out here, these bitches. These are the ones that aren't getting abused, but they end up in a way getting abused. And I'm not talking about Ray Rice's wife or anything, because I think Ray Rice took it a little too far, even though she lunged at him and maybe she provoked him. But that's really no reason to hit a woman. We're not talking about people that provoke men. Like, everybody just is this big disconnect. We're not talking about a woman that is saying something bad to the man and the man just hauls up and smacks her. We're talking about situations of self-defense. Situations where the woman is the aggressor, but then the man gets in trouble for it, even though the woman was the aggressor. And I'm not talking about provocation. I'm talking about like a man getting hit, getting injured because of some type of argument or some type of And a lot of this stuff that happens with domestic violence, other than the violent ones where women end up in the hospital or get beating, or like childish shit. It's just childish shit that happens, and somebody ends up calling the police over some bullshit. That's really what it is. Somebody calling the police over some bullshit, and whoever called the police first usually wins the case. That's how it is. And that's wrong. Because people lie. And that's the thing. Victims can lie. And I'm not talking about a victim like Ray Rice's wife that got knocked out. I'm talking about people that are fucking crazy. That don't have no fucking sense at all. That are pathological liars. That can cry crocodile tears at a moment's notice. Manipulators. Baiters. Just like Dr. Phil. Baiters. You have those type of people. And people, and it's like, it astonishes me that even A. Smith, Stephen Smith had to get suspended over what he said. That's the people he's talking about. Women that use their sex to gain an advantage, to use the law. Because basically, when you're in the position, you have somebody that get arrested, and you want them to do something, like you want them to stay away from your children. You're trying to keep them away. What better way to keep them away from your children is to get them arrested for domestic violence? I mean, there's a goddamn song about it, for God's sake. A good man. I'm a good man. I mean, goddamn. That's what we're talking about. That's what people are talking about when the few people that have been speaking out about it, Tommy Sotomayor and everybody else that have been speaking about this stuff. There's crazy women out here doing this stuff. I've seen it. And the problem is, the prosecutors, like I said, do not give a fuck. They do not give a fuck about you. They'll get the case closed and move on to the next. They don't give a fuck. If they really gave a fuck, they'd be trying to make better policies on how to deal with this type of stuff. How to weed out people, the crazy ones. They can do it. They do it for murder or rape. They go out of the way. I mean, watch the Forensic Files. They took a fucking tape that somebody cut up and put it back together like it was new. They can find fingerprints and all that type of. They can do all that shit. They can do, and police can do an investigation and find out what actually happened, because people actually lie. That's the problem. And in a lot of the times in the courthouse, sometimes both might be, say something, and the judge doesn't know. Sometimes they get thrown out like that. Sometimes these cases get thrown out. So, and most of the times, the judge is the one making all the decisions. It's not done by a jury. A jury's not doing these type of cases. So it's a broken system, and I can't go into full detail of everything. I'm just telling you, there's shit wrong with this stuff. Like everybody keeps talking about domestic violence. Biden was talking about it. Obama said something about it. Like, the problem is, the system's broken. Even if you make tougher laws, people are going to take advantage of it, and a lot of people can go to jail, especially black people. And that's what pisses me off. So, that's all I got to say. Leave a comment. Thanks.